While many students are finding it hard to attend school online, many of their parents are also struggling with changes in their workplace, many being forced to work from home. I interviewed my parents to see how COVID-19 has affected their work situation.
In early March, there was no restriction because I traveled during that time and met with a bunch of colleagues, and we were all talking about it, but the company hadn't done anything. And then the company adopted a flexible work pattern, so you could stay home if you wanted to, but you didn't have to. And then after about a week of that, they said, yeah, you have to stay at home.
When we first started hearing about the coronavirus in January, they started having to do things like test out our equipment at home, make sure, asking us about what would be our work situation, would we be able to work from home, what equipment do we need. And then before the general order for everybody to leave, they'd already split up and half of our team was working at home and half of us were at the office. That only lasted about a week and a half before they just sent everybody home.
Now that they're working entirely from home, Graham defines the struggles of working with a team from a distance.
The work I do has changed a lot because we insure our healthcare providers, which are nurses and doctors and nursing homes and all of those related types of people are really obviously struggling right now. A lot of our work involves mediations and court appearances, and those are all delayed or on hold, so we're having trouble resolving cases.
In some ways, it's kind of nice because I'm not wasting as much time in traffic. Normally, I'd spend, 90 minutes or 2 hours a day in traffic, so it's nice to have that time back. But you do miss contact with your colleagues and friends at work. One of the biggest challenges, I think, when people work from home is being able to shut down their equipment and walk away. I'm sitting here in the living room, so it's hard for me to just not see the equipment. The biggest adjustment, I'd say, is just kind of learning to try to separate work time from family time or free time.
As a kid with both parents working at home, being stuck inside the same house with the same people for weeks can be difficult. My parents define the struggles of living in the same place that you work.
Feels like I pretty much work all day long, early mornings and into the night because it's here all the time. So it's actually really tough. I'm spending less time talking to you and Dad about things that aren't work related, because it feels like I'm just taking a break in my work and I have to go right back to it, even though it's evening. It's a really emotional time for people. I work with people all over the country, some of them in New York, for example, or Louisiana, where they're more affected by COVID. I work with people who work in very small apartments and people who work, in a country home. It's different for everybody. It's particularly a struggle for my team members that have little kids at home because they have no childcare. So there's a lot about it that's different, and it feels like every day we're having to deal with something new.
As the COVID-19 pandemic develops, we can only hope that it ends sooner rather than later. For now, I will still be attending online classes, and my parents will remain working at home. For Husky Headlines, this is Ian Graham.